Hi guys, thank you for coming for the second session of our workshop on GIS. Um, can anyone just recap what we did in the last class? Can anyone help me out in this regard? Just give it a try. It's absolutely fine if it's very elementary, but can someone want to give it a try?
So
Yeah.
can I add?
Hi, ma'am.
Actually, I
Yeah,
did not attend last session, but however, I went through this recording
great.
and I was using this QGIS 3.38. I'm trying to continue with that. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine. As long as it's fine with you, I am okay with it.
Okay. So first we tried to get a polygon shape file
Yeah.
from the NASA. After that, delimited CSV file also we are able to download. And we tried to fix the, when we wanted to analyze through count, processing analysis tool and count.
Yeah,
So we are able to, but in my 3.38, I'm not able to get the geometry. I didn't get any error sort of thing. So it straight away said it's finished. I'm not able to get remove that geometry or something like that.
okay. So did you get any warning there? No.
No warning in this.
Okay, then if you got it without warning, then great. For others, if they encounter that problem, that's why I showed that because that's a very common problem that we all encounter while doing any type of analysis in QGIS. But
Okay.
going forward now with the
Anybody,
class,
anybody else? Ask anybody.
anyone else wants to give their thoughts on what we did last class? It's fine. It's absolutely fine if it's a very elementary brief by you, and that will do. But I just wanted to see what people
Yeah. Okay.
the takeaway for the participants from last class.
I just found only 3 steps in this whole session actually. One is shape file, downloading shape file and downloading CSV and counting. Only 3 steps I was able to.
Okay.
Okay, I would like to add something to that, if that is okay with you.
Yeah. Please go ahead.
Yeah, so basically the save file, it was like you uh, walked us through how to add a vector layer and
Yeah.
then how to add, that CSV file, and then also formatting and analysis tool, do counting, and then how we can, there were, you walked us through the formatting also, like how we can change the color and all these things of these small
Yeah.
circles.
Yeah.
And then how raster will come later on. Like right now you introduced us to vector. So I think these were the thing, and then you also taught us the how the to resolve the error. Like we got various
Yeah.
outputs, fixed geometrics and fixed geometries and those kinds of things which fix the error. After that, we analyzed the data, we exported into CSV, and on CSV, we overall picture we were able to see. And before that, on the GIS file only, we saw country-wise details on, fire intensity, how we can understand fire intensity. That also you showed us. So I think these were the things.
Okay. Great. Thanks a lot, ma'am. Thanks a lot for your
I
takeaway.
also wanted to add one thing.
Yes, ma'am. Please go ahead.
Yeah. Actually, last time when we were doing this class, I missed it, so I went through the recording and I learned. So
Yeah.
there was one question when what I saw the difference was when you said the ESG file is there and you wanted us to select one option. Like in your this thing, there were so many options, but in ours only project and default mode were there.
Okay, okay.
Huh.
I think
So
when you're trying to import the CSV file, right?
yeah, so when we had to select ESG, so what is I noticed is that there is a difference in the count. Like when we select,
Yeah, that's because I think we did it on Thursday, if I'm not wrong, which was the 23rd, right? When did the session start?
20.
huh,
22nd, 22nd. Yeah. So maybe because you were trying after a day, So,
Okay.
maybe that's why the count number is different. But what I'm trying to say is, even if the count number is different, the wholesome trend that you are seeing here, like this place is the biggest hotspot right now, that shouldn't change. Okay. The
Yeah.
count could be, instead of 100 counts, if you are getting 95, but that's like, that aligns with the, the broader, how the fire activities are happening. So that
Okay.
answers your query here.
Yeah, yeah, because I think now I get it. It is because the last 48 hours, so that data might have changed for.
The data might have changed. The data might have changed, but nothing to worry in that front. What I'm
Oh,
trying to say is, as long as you got all the steps here, then
mm.
you should be good.
Oh, yeah, definitely, definitely. Thank you.
Now let us go forward with what we are going to do. And if you remember, I think if you remember this,
You can't see your screen.
can you?
Abhi can't see your screen.
Can change the screen is sharing. It says, okay, just 1 minute.
Yeah, we can see that the screen. Yeah.
Now you can see the screen.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now you see, like now we have on a screen, we have something like this. We have styled it a little bit, and this is what we are trying to do here. This is something that we are going to export today. So right now we are here basically, okay, and now we have to do a little cleaning and do some processing here as well. So this map that you see, this is called a choropleth map, okay, and it's a very basic data visualization that we do in QGIS. A choropleth map is basically, it depends, it's a distribution of the variables. Okay, now if I open so here you have Nigeria, South Sudan. So it's in the descending order from the highest to the lowest. Okay. So the choropleth map is going to mimic this. Okay. So this color grade. So that's what we mean by a choropleth map. It's the distribution of the variables from either highest to lowest or lowest to highest. That's what a choropleth map is called. Has anyone heard about this term before, choropleth? Anyway, it doesn't matter. These are all fancy terms that we use, but the main idea behind this is it's the distribution of the variables. And right now, what we have these in circles. Okay, we have these in circles. So what we are going to do now here is, so how many people, if you can, so everyone has this count file, right? This count file that we generated,
Yeah.
this basically has all the data for the countries. Okay. Hopefully everyone has that file. So in case you don't have it or you want to save it, just go ahead and I'll tell you why we are saving this file in the first instance. So we'll go to save feature as, and I'm going to save it by giving it a name first on the download section. Choropleth data. And what I'm going to do here is, I don't want so many fields to jumble up to make it messy. The data should always be clean. And what I'm going to do is, I'm going to deselect all of them because I don't want so many columns. I just want 2 columns. I want the num points, which is at the data that we want. And I think admin should work because that's the name of the countries here, or name. I think name would be better. If you scroll down, you'll also see name here, and I'm going to save that. Okay. So we have this.
Sorry, can I ask a very small, very little thing? Somehow my left panel has disappeared. I don't know how to restore that.
Which panel?
The left one where the file, the layers and the browser, this.
So if this vanishes or it just disappears, what you do here is you come to view,
Okay.
and then once you click on view, you'll see you have the panels.
Right, right.
So you check on layers and you check on browser.
Okay, thank you so much. Yeah.
So that's how you, going forward, that's how you make it appear again in your screen if it disappears. So anyway, we have this data now, and what we have to do right now is, and why I saved the data is, we're going to do something like spatial join. It's called spatial join. And why we do spatial joins is, say you have this, you only have the shape file, and you have the data of different countries in a different CSV format. And by the way, QGIS only understands CSV. It doesn't understand Excel file or anything like that. So anytime you're saving the data, make sure you save it in a CSV file. If you're trying to import it again, okay. So going ahead, so say we have the shape file, which is the fixed geometry file, which we had fixed it from the earlier class, if you remember. And say we have the data. In this case, this is that count choropleth data. And now I want to add the data. Okay, I want to add the data with the shape file so that I can create the choropleth file. Because right now, all we have is something like this. We only have the circles, okay, and it's overlapped with the countries, but we want to specifically color the countries depending on the number of fire activities. As far as we remember, Nigeria was the highest one, so Nigeria should be the darkest color here, okay. But we can't do that just by this file, this swarmy verse, the actual data. So that's why we need something called a spatial join, where we are going to join two columns. Okay. And has anyone used VLOOKUP? Anyone has the idea about VLOOKUP in Excel? Has anyone worked on that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you know what a VLOOKUP is, right, ma'am? Hello? Hello? Anyone else wants to have a go? Like, has anyone heard about this term called VLOOKUP that we use while doing Excel?
Yes, Marlon. Yeah. Ruchi Pushkarna.
Okay. So Ruchi, can you just explain to the class, anyone for that matter who has heard a VLOOKUP, can you just explain to the class why we use VLOOKUP? For what do we use VLOOKUP?
We look for a particular value, like in a range, like for example, in a subsheet, in another sheet on an Excel workbook, we want to look up a certain, we're looking for a certain value.
And in order to do that, we also look for a particular column, right?
Yes.
Where the two columns match.
Where the two columns match, yes, like there's a matching. Yeah.
So a spatial join is we are not going to physically give any formula for for VLOOKUP, but the idea behind that is pretty much the same with spatial joins. Okay, and in order to do spatial joins, what we are going to do here is, so we have the fixed geometries. Okay, so right click on that, properties, and if you come down here, spatial, just 1 minute. Yeah, manage, and you're going to click on this. Okay, so what you do is, you see this triangle thing, manage joins to other layers. That's what you're going to click on, and once you click on that, this a blank page appears. But don't fret so much, because what you have to do is you have to call, and so here you have this plus sign. You click on that, called add new join, and the join layer is, I think it's the fixed join. Okay. Oh, so this one would be, the join layer would be the count choropleth data. This is the one, and the join field is name. The join field is name, and the target field, like the target field would be the field that we are trying to join in the fixed geometries column, or fixed geometries layer. Okay, so that one is also called name, and you hit OK, and everything else remains the same. Just hit OK, and you hit apply, and OK, and let's see if that worked. Let's right click again, open attribute table, and let's scroll down and see, now you have the count correlate data num points 692. This allows, so now we have joined two columns. Okay, so now we can go ahead and do the correlate styling. So now you right click on that. Okay, again you come to properties, hit symbology, and here I think we will go with graduated, and these are the type of visualizations that you can do. I'm not getting into the details of what all they do, but in your free time please go ahead and look it up yourself what all you guys can do with the different kind of visualization that they offer. I'll go with graduated, and the value here would be, okay, so I don't know why this one is not showing. I mean the same, yeah, fixed geometries. Let me just one minute, let me just see if the right one. Yeah, this is the right one, so it should show up. Let's see categorized. Okay, so it shows up in the categorized, not the graduated. I don't know why I have to see it myself, why it's not showing. It's very strange. But let's go ahead with categorized. So in the value section, you have to click on this. This is the column that we want to visualize. Okay. And then you hit classify. Okay. And here's the fun part. Here's where the core data visualization concepts come in. You can choose different colors. All right. And I'll go with rocket. And if you have to invert the color ramp, because right now 0 is the darkest, I don't want that. I want it to be the lightest color, 0. So you do an invert color ramp. Okay. Oh, there's one more thing, because right now, if you see, good that it showed up. I missed this. So right now, if you see, you see here it's written ABC in front of the next to the column that we're trying to visualize. As you see, it's ABC. So every time you see it's ABC, that means it's a string. As in, like QGIS is seeing it as words or letters. First, we have to also so when you're doing a spatial join, the another step that you have to do is convert it into numerical format. Okay, so in order to do that, let me just close it. And also, just one more thing. If you come here, another way of saying like if it's numerical or not. The problem here is, you see, if I change the color, you see 100 is here, and it's all very jumbled up, right? It's not like 0, 1, 2, 10 like that. It's all very jumbled up. You have 100 this color, 1391 is this color. So that also shows that you have to change the format of the column as well. Like turn it from a string, like which is ABC, which are letters, to numerical format. So in order to do that, what you do here is you come to processing, toolbox, and you search for refactor fields. Okay, refactor fields. You click on that, and the column we want to change here is, let me just increase the width of it so that everyone can see. Yeah, so this dialog box will open. You come down here. This is the one that we want, the correlate data num points. You see it's text string. It's already saying it's text. So turn it into a, so again, this 32-bit, 64-bit, it depends on like the way they are storing the data. It doesn't concern us. You can go ahead with either 32 or 64. Let's see. Let's go with 64 for the time being. And you click on run. And now let's see. And it creates another layer called refactor. Okay, so henceforth we are going to work on refactor instead of fixed geometries. And refactor, again, the same thing. We will right click, properties, and we'll go to categorized. And now you see it's 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we have successfully converted it from a text string to a numerical format. And now we're going to hit classify and see now it's all in the right order 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, like that. And we'll change it, rocket, and we'll invert the color ramp. Now let's hit apply. Okay. And this looks like a good enough map that works. It looks better. Now we have what we want. So this is basically how we do a choropleth map in QGIS. Any questions before I go ahead? Any questions? Did
Do
anyone?
we have a legend? We don't need legend for this.
Yeah, we'll do all that when we are trying to export the map. But let me just see why it's not. Let me just give one more try.
Can we just project only India, means removing the other things, other countries?
Yeah, but in a choropleth map, you can do it You have to do it state-wise map because just you're showing India, so you have to do it state-wise.
Joseph has a
Yeah,
question.
state boundaries.
Yeah.
Joseph has a question.
Yeah. Hi, Joseph. Please go ahead.
Yeah, so in that case, we need state level data, right?
Hello.
Sorry. Yeah.
Hello.
Joseph, can you go ahead first, and then I'll answer your question, ma'am.
Please. I just want to find out that is it only file data or flood data that we can use the QGIS to do? I am working on projects which I'm taking data on a fishing net that has been abandoned. I don't know whether I could use QGIS to locate the abandoned nets for my data work. Thank you very much.
Could you just repeat your question once more? Joseph?
Okay, so I'm saying that are there any other data that you can use GIS to QGIS to draw the map or to look for the geo point to put it on the map? For example, I'm working on the fishing nets of fishermen that they have abandoned on the coast.
Okay, so one thing is
whether I can use QGIS to pick the coordinates.
So you need a higher level for that because this is about detection, and normally you do that through this thing called Google Earth Engine. Okay, you can search it, and right now you have AI, so you can do the AI prompts and you can get a whole script. But that's not part of of our domain. If there is a data set where they show where all the fishermen have abandoned their nets, then you can just load it here like the way we showed. Depends on the format of the file as well, if it's a vector file or it's a raster file. So you can go ahead and do it that way. But for the timing, we are just going to stick with what we are teaching in this course. So I can answer your question, like you shoot me a mail and we can discuss it there. Okay.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Yeah, no problem.
So can I intervene at this stage? Yeah. So logically it's possible, but if you have the data on that aspect, so if the data is not there, then you can't do that. Is it?
If the data is not there, then you have to create the data set.
Yeah.
Right.
Otherwise, QGIS can be used for
QGIS can be done for anything, but how you go about getting, making that data set, that depends. That depends. You can do it on QGIS. I don't know. I have to see it myself because mostly detections and all for detecting things, we use Google Earth Engine. That's another cloud software that Google has. But remember the Aravalli map that I showed. that data also did not exist, right?
You had to create it.
We had to create it. So I did that on QGIS. So normally detection, it depends the kind of stuff that you're trying to do. For detection, I use QGIS. For detection, I mostly use Google Earth Engine. But like the Aravalli map, that was completely done on QGIS. No Google Earth Engine, nothing like that.
No, so suppose Pulaha, so the data doesn't exist and he wants to use QGIS to visualize the data set. So the first step that he's supposed to take is to first get the data in place.
Yeah, first you have to collect the data. You have to collate the data in one place.
Add a location to it. Add location to it.
Yeah, and it also depends, ma'am, on the kind of data that you're trying to do.
Yeah.
It's also that will shape the tool that you want to use.
Yes.
Okay, whether it's going to be QGIS, whether it's going to be Google Earth Engine, like that. So Google Earth Engine is a little high level stuff that we do on Google Earth Engine, because that requires a lot of scripting and all that. So that's not part of domain.
Okay, thank you very much. I'll send you. I've already collected some data, but I'll email you so that you can give me direction to do that. Thank you very much.
So logically, it is possible.
Yeah.
Okay, logically, it's possible if you have the data set and if the data set has a location attached to it. Okay.
Yes,
so
yes. It has a longitude and latitude, the dew points.
Yes, you're right.
Thank you very much. I'll send a mail.
Sure. Any more questions before we go?
There are a few questions in the chat box.
Sorry, can I ask one thing?
Yes, sure, please go ahead.
Suppose we want to show rainfall data, which we obtain from IMD, right? So it's like annual data across states or across districts within a states, but there is no geolocation attached to it necessarily, right?
So what you have to do, ma'am, is something very similar to what we did right now. Okay. What you have to do is get the state map, get the state the state shape-file of India. Okay. Now you load that in the layers panel, and you convert the state-wise rainfall data, which will have the name. So the two columns need to be the same. Okay. So in the shapefile, if the name is then there would be a column which will have all name of all the states, and your CSV file would also have the name of all the states, right?
Right.
So you just join those two fields via the spatial join that I just showed you here, and you're good to go.
Okay. Okay, thanks. Yeah. And can you again show the spatial join sync, please?
Yeah, so for the spatial join,
queries in the chat box.
Okay. I'll just show you, but there are a couple of more questions. What else do we have here? So Saroj sir has this problem in count layer. I don't have any attribute table. So maybe there was some problem. Maybe there was some problem with the count, with the way you did the count analysis. Could you please just redo that step once more?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. How do I save the file? You're getting ahead. We'll go to that as well. Don't worry. We'll save the file. We'll export it as. I'll also show you how to export. How to export this map. Basically, you don't save all the. So by the way, this is one question that I get a lot. How do I save layers? You actually don't save any layers. Okay. Why? I'll tell you, because otherwise you will just run out of space. Because there are so many layers that you are generating. You don't need all the layers. The one that you do need is like, this fixed geometries. Okay, this is where it all started. This is the file that this was the layer that was generated where we fixed the actual shape file. This is the one that you save. And in order to do that, if you want to just save the layer itself, you go right click on this, click export, save feature as, and here you save it in whatever format you want, ESRI shapefile or geopackage. Geopackage is another one. Just go ahead and save it wherever you want, and just hit OK, and you'll be able to save a layer that you want.
There's one more question for Dr. Nirmala. Nirmala.
Yeah, please go ahead.
In the chat box.
Okay, in the chat box. Just 1 minute. Can we have a demo on creating a CSV file for data that we have collected ourselves for mapping? Ma'am, that is a little bit out of our domain, because right now we are just going into the basics of it. We won't be able to cover everything, because what we are asking for is a very customized, toolkit. So right now we're just focusing on the very, very basics of like how do you work your way through QGIS. So, but if you have any particular question that you have,
one-on-one.
yeah, on a one-on-one basis, you can just mail us and we'll be happy to help you out in that regard.
How about it boundaries without color filled inside the maps?
Okay, so Vishwanath has a question. Hi, this is more of a logistics question. I'm not able to access the videos in the module 3. It says.
Susan will respond.
Okay, Susan will respond to that. Any more questions?
This is from Lola. Yeah, Lola has a question.
I
can you
can't
just
see
ask
that
her?
here.
The top, the first question that she had.
Which one is that?
Just in the beginning.
Okay.
Yes, yeah.
Deleted it my mistake yesterday. Can you get back? Sorry.
You can ask her to talk and.
Can I get it back by running the vector analysis as we did here? Lola, which one did you delete it? The count one?
Yeah, I deleted the count layer, but
Okay. So all you got to do, ma'am, is just go to vector. Like
Yeah.
once you have fixed this, once you have fixed this fixed geometries thing, once you have this layer, this fixed geometries, all you have to do is just go to vector analysis, then count points in polygon.
Yeah, I've done that. That
So
should
you
be.
Okay, great.
Okay,
Great.
thanks.
Okay.
I was just checking that.
No issues. No issues.
Dr. Nirmala has a question. How do I get boundaries without color filled inside the maps?
Oh, just 1 minute. Where's the question?
Yeah. Just scroll down.
Can we have a demo on creating a series? Okay, collected ourselves. Okay, not this one, right? Which one is it? How do I get boundaries without color filled inside? How do I get boundaries? Oh, that's a very easy thing. All you have to do is I'll show you this. So this is what you wanted, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So all you have to do is just right click, properties, symbology, and here in simple fill,
Okay.
color, you have to slide this slider, you have to just slide it. So 0% is no color, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Right, okay, yeah. Yeah, and now going ahead with this.
Ashley has a question. Did you see this? How to save the file? He saved the file last time, but the fixed geometry layer is missing in the map.
Which one is it?
Ashley. So just go down.
Okay, fixed geometry file is not visible while I have opened the So did you open the file or like what exactly happened?
Ashley, can you please repeat your question? Ask him to talk.
Ashley, can you just open the saved file? We can't understand, Ashley. Can you just?
Then move to the next
Are you audible?
Hello.
Yeah. Yeah. Hi.
Actually, I saved the file last time in a particular name. While after opening, only the dots are visible, like the file with fixed that underlayer map is not coming.
I'll just. Can you send a screenshot? Can you share a screenshot of how exactly?
Actually, I am not. I can't. I am using different systems. So I will try to see. I will mail you later.
Yeah, mail it to me. I'll have a look at it once the session is over.
Yeah.
So one last thing we are going to do here before I go ahead is instead of categorized, we'll go to graduated. Okay, we'll go to graduated, and everything else remains the same. You hit classify, okay, and either natural breaks or pretty breaks, whichever the distribution is better. I think pretty breaks distribution is better in terms of this variable distribution. So I'll hit apply. Nothing changes, because it will be the same, but okay, but you see, yeah, this changes. And here's where again the core concepts of data visualization comes in. What you're seeing right now is like you do have a map, and if I hit OK, you do have a map, but it's not like how it was when we were doing in categorized, right? Because right now what you're saying, the map is looking a little off. It doesn't have that wow factor, right? And in order to do that, it's basically because of the distribution here. Okay, so you have anything under 0 to 2000, all of them have been clubbed to this color. Okay, and that's where the core concepts of data visualization comes in. Let me just open the Excel file here, and you see the distribution. So this is the one. This is 112911. So that's 11,298. So you have just one value which is above 10,000. Okay, and you have everything. You have around 21 countries from 1,000 to 8,000. Okay, and then you have the distribution is something like this 900, and you have a lot of countries which are 0 to 100. But here the distribution is a little skewed because it clubs everything between 0 to 2000 as the same. So that's why the map is looking a little off now. You just have the colors here, and everything else is of the same shade. In order to do that, what we'll do is we're going to change the distribution. Okay, and the way we change the distribution here, I'll show you. So here you see the values. Click on that, just double click on that. Now this thing opens up. So the upper value, I'll keep it to, let's say 100. Okay, and accordingly I'll change that. This one as well, I'll keep it to 500. 100 to 500. 500 to, let's see, 1000. Okay, now 1000 to, say, let's say 2000. 2000 to 3000. 3000 to 5000, or let's keep it uniform for 4000, and then we'll add more classes here. Don't worry if this thing if this comes, just add. And here it will be from 4000 again to 5000, and I'll add one more, bring it down here again. It'll take some patience to get used to this, but this is a very important step because otherwise your map will look very off. And again, another one. This one would be 6000 to 7000. Another one. Fine. And finally, the last one, we'll keep it from 8000 to whatever the number was, which was, I think, let me just see, 11 to 98. Great. And right now this is all red. So what we'll do is we'll just do classify one, or let me just let's see, let's try this rocket. Yeah. So this gives the color distributed the way we want. And now you have 8000 to A, the darkest shade. And now let's hit apply. And now this looks better.
But actually 2000 to 30,000 it is showing instead of 3,000. One bar.
Oh, one minute. Thank you for pointing it out. Thank you for pointing it out. So this will be
Even up 2 to 3.
2000 to 3000. Yeah, that's, I think, fine.
That's fine.
Yeah, now it's.
Now let's hit apply. Yeah, hopefully this should, yeah, now this looks better. And you can, of course, always goes without saying, you can again, if you're not very happy with the way this thing is looking, you can of course do the distribution again according to your. So you can just make it 50 and then like that. Okay. So,
So this reminds me of my 10th standard statistics class.
Yeah, that's also, yeah,
yes.
bit of statistics
So
also involved.
we were all taught about class intervals.
Yeah,
Many of
class
us can
interval. That's very
recall.
important.
Yes.
That's very, very
Yeah.
important, the class interval.
Yes. So just like creating class
Yeah.
intervals as we learned in class 10.
Yeah, yeah. And before we go ahead, we're gonna style it up a little more, and that's where the question of projections come in. Now we have been talking about CRS, and we have been talking about this EPSG 4326. Can anyone tell me what's a projection? Or what these things mean, like EPSG 4326? If you can see the right hand corner of the QGIS, here's something called EPSG 4326. Anyone has any idea? Anyone knows how Greenland looks? How does Greenland look? I mean, right now, ma'am, we are only talking about Greenland,
yes,
right?
yeah.
And I think Mr. Trump thinks that Greenland is this, I don't know, twice of India and thrice of Australia. I don't know, like, but it's not that big because the map, because it depends on the projection. The projection that you're looking at makes Greenland that big, and the projection that we normally look at is you don't have to follow this. I'm just showing you. This is the projection where you see this is where Greenland looks so huge, but that's not true. Normally we use a flat earth to the projection that I showed you was one of the oldest projections called pseudo Mercator, and that projection was used by navigators back then when they used to had to navigate across the waters.
So there was this controversy about African map as well.
Yeah, there was this controversy about the African map, like if Africa actually looks this small. Again, I'll just show you this. Apply. If Greenland is bigger than Africa, if North America is actually that big, it's bigger than Russia and whole of Asia combined, but it's not. And that's where projection comes to use. That's where projection comes very handy. But why do we use projection? It's not just for styling. We use projections, often we use projections when we are doing some local analysis and we cannot use a global projection for that. Say like you're in India or for that matter, you're in any part of the world, whether it be a place in Africa or Europe, every place has its local projection as well. And keep in mind, if you're doing any analysis, when it comes to, local analysis, you have to use that local projection. That's where projection comes very handy. But I'll show you one more thing. See, right now it's great. We don't have anything to do with Greenland. But if you're doing a story on Greenland, on the Arctic Circle itself, like how the ice is melting on Arctic Circle, I don't think you're going to use this map because it doesn't convey the story properly. Okay, it shows everything but Greenland, but I just want to focus on Greenland. I'll give you an example here. I think we use this. Just 1 minute. Let me just minimize this. I have the map. Yeah, this one. So this map shows just the Antarctica. Okay, and that's how big Antarctica is. It's not something like what we are seeing right now. It's not this big. Antarctica is supposed to be like this. And that's where projections come handy. And I'll show you one way of getting the Arctic Circle, and this is for Arctic Circle and Antarctica. What you do is you just let me copy this. This is a small line, a command, and this was done just by an AI prompt. Okay. Earlier we had to learn this, but now with AI you don't have to learn any of this. All you have to do is go to AI and just say like I want an orthographic projection, and an orthographic projection is like the shape of the earth, the actual shape of the earth, which is spherical. Okay, and that's what we call an orthographic projection. And to get an orthographic projection, the European Petroleum Survey Group, European coordinate, yeah, that one. But list to get an orthographic projection, you go first, you come here to settings, come to custom projections, and let me just delete that. I'll show you once more. And here you click this plus sign and give it a name. I'll give it Arctic Circle. And change, if this is WKT, change it to proj string. This one is important. Just change it to proj string. And you just do validate. This projection, projection definition is valid. And you click OK. You can ignore that, it's fine if you get that. And nothing happens because we have just given this input to the system, to the QGIS system. Now we have to call it, and in order to do that, you come here EPSG 4326, and you scroll this one, this predefined coordinate reference system. You scroll down, you come to user defined, and hit apply. Now we have the way the world actually looks, the spherical shape of the earth that we are used to. And what and if you see here, let me just open this. You come here, you come to settings again, and you do custom projections. And here you see, and you can change the lat long accordingly, whichever point of view you want. If you say you want to focus on Africa, you change the lat long accordingly. And that's all you have to do. That's all you have to do. And why I wanted to show you this projection thing is because it's very handy. Like if you're doing a story on Greenland, if you're doing a story just on Arctic Circle, you might want the focus to be on Arctic Circle instead of the whole of Earth, because it doesn't make sense otherwise, right? So that's why we use projection. It depends from which point of view also you're trying to say the story. And it's a very important aspect of QGIS or GIS in general, projections in general. So that's why we wanted to show you this step. And there are a bunch of other projections that
can you demonstrate how to change it for Africa, if possible?
So I think we have to. I'll just share the prompt with you after the class, and all you have to do is just do this step once more. Just go to custom projection and add that step, and I'll give you the AI prompt for that one as well. So don't worry, I'll just share it with you guys after the class. And there are a bunch of other projections. My favorite one, I think, is, let me see if it's called Sphere Molivate. Yeah. So just search ESRI, or let's see, 53000. It just shows up like the, yeah, 53009. So every coordinate reference system also has this number, okay? Authority ID. That's how you locate a projection here. If you know the name of the projection, great. Sphere Molivate, like this is my favorite. Let's see if you can just sphere. Oh, that doesn't show up. But if you just type sphere, then this thing turns up. Let's hit apply. Okay. And see, this looks very close, like the closest, in fact, to the flat earth that we are used to. And this looks much better, right? Compared to, this 4326 that we are used to. Apply it again. See the difference now? It looks cleaner, it looks neater.
So Pulaha, this is a question on behalf of the participants.
Yeah.
Is there a suggested projection that.
So the default project, so there's nothing like the go-to projection, but the default projection that QGIS uses, and I also strongly believe we should start with that just before we go on to export the map itself. The default projection that QGIS uses is the 4326, which is an absolute flat earth that we are used to see. This is the one, 4326.
That means whether I'm in India or in Africa,
yeah, it doesn't matter.
Wherever
It doesn't matter. These are all global projections. Okay. These are all global projections. But the UTM one, if you see UTM, if you just search for UTM, these UTM ones are the local projections for a place. Okay. If you go for UTM, then those are the local projections. Like I think India has a bunch of local projections. And by the way, this one is the official India projection as prescribed by IMD 7755. Okay. But if you see all this, say Kalyanapur, see these are all local projections. These are all local projections. But anyway, I'll keep it to sphere molecule. That's my favorite. You can have your favorite. That's absolutely fine. Apply. Okay. Yeah. So any questions before we go ahead and actually export the map now? We have the map here. Any questions?
Yeah, I have one question.
Yeah.
This is a map where we have got the color categories, but
Yeah.
what about the legends? Like when you were categorizing, the legend was marked there.
Yeah.
Without the legend, we will not be able to understand.
Absolutely. And that's where the legend comes in, because now we are going to export the map itself. And that's a step in itself in QGIS. Because if you're not using designing tools, then like how do you export them? Because I use Adobe to generate my legend and all, but I'll show you how you can just generate the legend through QGIS itself. And that's why very important, thankfully, ma'am, thanks to you, you brought it up, the legend part. And you remember, like I changed it to graduated, right? I did that because it gives me this distribution. Because had I used categorized, then it would have been for every number that would have been a color. And legend would have been huge. It depends, like I'll be getting around, say
69 or so.
Yeah, I'll be getting around 248 color palettes. So that would have been wouldn't have been okay. So that's why I changed it to graduated. Okay. So you hit apply. Okay, and now we'll go ahead and actually export the map. So to export the map, you have the new print layout here. You click on that. You can also use Command P. I'm guessing it's Control P in your as a shortcut. So Command P, and I'll give it a name. Correct map CSE. And this dialog box opens. And the thing that you have to do is first you have to bring something on display here. And in order to do that, you come here. It's called this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 from above. This one. Normally it displays the name, but it's not for some reason. And all you have to do is now to drag it like this. Okay, I'll show it once more. In case you guys have missed it, come here, add map. Yeah, it's called add map. Click on that and your cursor changes to this plus sign. Go to the edge of the display board and just drag it like this. And the map shows up. Okay. Okay. And I just want to show you one more thing. If you click on this and right click, you go to page properties, and what page properties does is it shows the property of the page. So if you want to change the width or if you want to change the height, this is where you do under page properties. Again, you do a right click, and if you come to item properties, this is about the spatial data itself. So you see the x min, y min, x max, y max. Now, say I don't want the whole of the world. I just want to focus on Africa. So all you have to do now, just if you want to see Africa, so this is the y max. This is the y min. This is the x min. This is the x max. So all you have to do now is figure out like y min for Africa would be minus 4720016. Y max would be 49711150. X min would be minus 2773385, and X max would be 6014194. These are very random numbers. You can just keep it here as well. So that's up to you how much you want to stretch it. But I just wanted to show you this because this comes very handy. Right now, we don't have to tweak these numbers because the map looks good. It has fitted the way we want in this display board. And the first thing first, ma'am wanted a legend. So let me show you a legend, add legend. And here it is, okay. And right now, okay, so let me just, right now, if you see, first let us fix the legend itself, because right now there are a lot of this valid input, invalid input, error output, and all that. We don't need those files, okay. So what we do is you click on that, okay. You click on the legend box itself, come here, and you click on auto update. You uncheck auto update, and what you do now is you uncheck auto update, and this is very important. You uncheck auto update, click on valid output, remove the selection, and you see, click on invalid output, remove the selection, like that. We only want the refactored, where this is called refactored. We only want that, and remove everything else. And we're going to fix this as well. We're going to fix this. This one, we're going to remove that. And now we're going to fix that. So let's see what's the problem is. Let's go to here. This one shows, okay, so the legend here, so we have the numbers, but the legend here is going to be this. So all we have to do now is we're going to do write 4,000 to 5,000 and vice versa. 5,000. Is everyone following? Is anyone having any issues with what we are doing? And now let's see if it has reflected. Yeah, it has reflected. Yeah, great. And one last thing with the legend, what we are going to do now is I'm going to change the name because it doesn't make sense for it to be called refactored. So I'm going to name it fire activities in the last 48 hours. Very simple, and everyone can understand that. And you can do a lot of styling with it. I'm a huge fan of the styling part because that's what makes your map
Pulaha,
stand
there's
out.
one more question regarding the scale, because when you talk about maps,
Yes, all one
scale
at a
is
time,
very
one at a
important.
time, one at a time. We are focused on the legend right now. I'm going to show you the scale as well, so don't worry about that. I'm just going to show you how you can, style it a little bit. Use a different font, and I think at the item levels you can do your experiments here. You just click on that and you scroll down. That's where the fonts and text formatting comes in. I think it's the item limit if I'm not wrong. The item font, I think we'll go with Courier new, yeah. And the subheading also is Courier. Courier. Yeah, this looks much better. The size is 10. I'll keep it 10 here. And I'll make it bold, this one. Yeah, that looks much better. And I'll go back right here. And I'll give it a transparent background so that you can see what's here. This looks better. Yeah. Just move it across a little bit. And I think I'm happy with how it looks. You can just move it wherever you want. I'm happy with the placement here. Next is the scale. And the scale is, I'm going to keep it here. And this one says, I'm going to keep it, if it says right now, if I just, you'll see this is, it's saying it's invalid scale. So I'll just use map units there. And fixed segment width, this looks better. And I'm going to decrease this. And I'll just keep it like this, the scale here. And if you want a fixed width, you can do this as well. But I think fixed segment width looks better that way. You can also change, you can do some styling here as well as customize the map, customize the scale the way you want. You can do this. You can also increase it, but I'm happy with fixed segment width. And the width, let me just see. Yeah, this looks better. Let's see, let's keep it 100. So yeah, okay. Now, what is the biggest takeaway from this map? Anyone wants to go, because that's going to be the headline, and I'll show you how to give a headline. Because right now we have the legend, we have the scale, but we also need a headline which is going to convey what the story is. So, what is the biggest takeaway? Anyone wants to go, give it a go ahead? Anyone? That's absolutely fine. Just give it a shot. Ma'am, you want to have a go at?
I want the participants to.
Yeah, it'll be better if the participants can.
Otherwise, there's no point.
Yeah. No one?
Have they got the question right, first of all?
They have questions?
Yeah, no, have they got the questions right? Did they understand what you're trying to ask them?
Africa has major fire activities.
Yes.
Yeah, Africa has major fire activities. So thank you, Saroj sir. And anyone else wants to have a go? No one?
Yeah, so then India and Australia has a very high number of, relatively high number of fire
Yeah.
potatoes.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Part of North of America also, slightly lesser than that, but
yeah,
on the higher side. Yeah.
Okay. So what I'll do is I'll just show you how to get the headline. And for headline, you have this add label. And add label again, like you drag this, you make a box here, and this lorem something that's by default that comes in. And here in the main properties is where you change the headline. Fire activities. You can change the headline to whatever you want. For the time being, we're just keeping it to this. Fire activities. Africa, the biggest hotspot for fire activities. area reporting over 11,000 fire spots, followed by the data, South Sudan and Central African Republic. And I'm going to style it a little bit. Font, I think I'll go with Georgia. And it's a very good practice to always, make it bold, to always experiment. Give it 20 points. And I'm going to change the alignment a little bit, keep it center, vertical center. Let's see what, no, vertical center works. Center, yeah. And if you want to, I'll just change the font size. Font here, make it 18 points. Yeah, that looks better. And one last thing, but also a very important thing, is never miss out on your sources. That's one way of saying validating your work so that users take it seriously. Because without a source, everyone would be like,
and the date in this case.
Yeah. So you can mention that I think in the legend itself. So I'll go to the legend here. Item properties. 48 hours. What was the date? When did we access the data?
22nd.
So that will be 20 to 20. 22 Jan.
21st to 22nd. Yeah.
Yeah. 2026, and I will make it. Yeah. We have a double decker. And one last thing, what I'll do is center. Let's just keep it left. Okay. So we are good. And one last thing is the source. And source NASA Farms, SMTP, and natural earth. And you can also give yourself a credit, graphic map by whatever your name is, XYZ. And I'm going to change the font again. At 10 points, I'm happy with the font size. Just change the font. Just increase it so that it shows up. Yeah, I think this works. I'm pretty happy with the way it's looking right now. Yeah. And one last thing is, I'm going to export it. And the way you exported it, you come here, you see, you have the printout, the print layout, export as image. Click on that. Or click map CSV, save in downloads. And you can change the extension here. I'll keep it to PNG. You can also keep it to JPEG. Click save. And everything else is the same. This is all the, the metadata, like the export resolution will be this resolution. Save. And let's see how it looks. Yeah, we've got a nice looking map with a good projection as well. So yeah.
Dr. Nirmala has a question. You can just see the chat box. So she's saying there's a difference in point data and the map that is been generated. You see the chat box? Yes.
There's a difference in point data and corporate map generated from here. Not really, ma'am. As you can see, if I instead of this, if I give this, it's pretty much the same. You can keep this one as well, but you have to change the color. Let's change the color and let's see if it looks different or not. To white, to black. Let's see. Those black spots are where it's supposed to be.
Yeah, this is much better.
This is pretty much the same that we are seeing. That answers your question.
We have one more question, Pula.
Yeah.
So now suppose if we want to see whether there is any link between the temperature and the forest fire activities.
Yeah.
So in that case, what do you suggest?
So we have the forest fire. So you have this, which is the fire activities data.
Yeah.
And then you just overlay it with the temperature data.
Okay, that means
so there will be three layers.
One more layer.
There will be one more layer. In total, there will be 3 layers. We are talking about. You have the country boundaries layer. On top of that, you'll have the temperature layer. On top of that, you're going to have this this fire activities. Fire activities data layer.
There's a question from Pramila.
Yeah, this one. How can we show coordinates in the map? I didn't get your question, ma'am. Coordinates in the map.
Actually, this is a whole world map, but when we do some maps for particular, maybe a state, like we do GIS studies of pollution or something. So we take a lake or something. So when we draw the map for lakes, we show coordinates like what coordinates it is lying between. So suppose we export a graph. So before exporting, can we give the coordinates of the particular,
Yeah, so I think it's this one, if I'm not wrong. Let me see. You can add a north arrow here if you want to show which one. But I'll just let me just have a look at that. Okay, how you can add. So you're asking for grid lines, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so the grid line thing, I'll just have a look at it myself. I'm not very familiar with that. Let me just have a have a look at it myself, and I'll show you. There is a way. I don't use it because we normally do it on Adobe, I don't do all these headlines and labeling and all. I normally do it in Adobe, but let me just have a look and just see it and get back to you on this.
Okay.
Next class.
Archie has a question.
Yeah. How do we export as a shapefile if you want to use other tools for data analysis? Actually, to just save any shapefile, any layer for that matter, say this one, the fixed geometries, right click, export, save feature as, and if it's CSV, then just turn it into an ASRI shapefile. You can also use geo package. I'll leave it to you. Just do some, digging up on what a geo package is, but that's also very helpful, very powerful right now. Just save it wherever you want. Just right click on this, save it as XYZ, save, and just hit OK, and it'll save the file wherever you want to save it. Any more questions?
Can I ask something?
Yeah.
Actually, this is one source. You have shown Nature Earth from where we could get the data for mapping. But for example, we want to do some environmental pollution, maybe water pollution, air pollution mapping for India, for states and all. So can you share some sources from where we can get the data along with the coordinates so that
okay, I'll just mail that to you. I'll just mail that to you. Just send me a mail, ma'am, and I'll just list the data sources and all. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, can you please share that with all of us? Like, I think we all are working on these kinds of issues, so it will be.
Under module 2, we have listed 10 to 12 data sets, sources for geospatial data on different aspects that you're asking for. So please have a look at that. In the meanwhile, Pulaha will also share with you some data sources.
If you have any particular, just send me a mail, because the thing is that we are just teaching the basics of it, right? And it might not, I mean, probably the high chances that the data that we use today might be of no use to you guys going forward. So you want a very customized, learning experience. So that just send me a mail so that I can list it.
But just to repeat, we have already shared a few data sources under module 2. It's under essential readings. So please have a look at that. It's already there in it. Okay. So
just have a look at that, and even after that, if you guys still want more, then you can just shoot us a mail and we'll be happy to share it.
So we have shared sources, which includes sources for data, which is both statistical data and the spatial data, both. Okay, so I hope that helps you all.
But I have one question, sir. Actually, this map which you have developed.
One person at a time.
Sorry. Oh no, I needed a clarification. Where can we access? I mean, I didn't know where have we been shared the modules and
so if you see module 2 of this program, it's under Moodle platform. You have got the username and password.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. So once you log in, there are 4 modules. Under module 2, when you scroll down, there is essential readings. Okay, so you just open the folder. Under that folder, you have got the Excel files.
Yeah, got it.
Yeah. So,
thank you. Yeah.
Query, ma'am. Ma'am, I have one query.
Yeah.
This is maps we usually made for print purpose. Suppose we need to upload in a website without the legend. I've seen some websites where just without legend, just when you move the cursor, there is a projection of India, say, and we get the data. So that kind of transitions, how do we get it?
So that's interactive, ma'am. That's not part of this, because that's web development. That's not exactly cartography or mapping or GIS for that matter. That's more in the realm of web development and interactive stuff and all that.
So this is exclusively only for print purpose.
This is static.
Journals like that.
This is static. So you can use a static map in a web as well. You can use it for print. That's up to you. Whatever.
Now, just to add on to that, so also we have covered that in the training program, but you can try this out. You can try a few simple tools. For example, if you use a tool known as data wrapper, okay. So using data wrapper, you can create a map like this. It doesn't analyze, but you can create a map, and that map will be interactive. Okay, so there.
It doesn't do any analysis on its own, like say QGIS, which is your one-stop solution for anything, any spatial query.
But if you're in a hurry and you want to just use a simple map for your story or for okay, you can use those tools as well. So
okay,
yeah.
Any more questions?
That's it.
I think hopefully you guys like today's session.
So just to sum up, what's the key takeaway from this?
So the key takeaway is how do you export the map?
And the other takeaway is from a simple map, from this map.
Map,
I have seen that most of you have said many stories. For example, somebody is saying that, okay, Africa has the maximum fire activities. Somebody spoke about India, somebody spoke about some other country. From a single map, we have got multiple stories. Single visual tells multiple stories, and that's because you have been able to quantify the data using QGIS. So Pulaha taught you how to process the data and then quantify it and then create a map. So it's not just visual, but visual with the story that you have, each one of us has got from this map. So please remember, story is very, very important with the tool. So, okay, so simple map will not tell you anything unless you have that messaging done right in the right way. Okay, so
okay,
yes,
so we'll call it a day.
And if you have more doubts,
please feel free to mail us definitely.
And the third live session is scheduled on 29th of January, the same time.
Yeah.
So see you on.
See you on 29th of January. Thank you so much
Thank you.
for
Thank you,
attending our
everyone.
live session.
Thank you.
Thank you.